Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and I've been baited so hard. They released news like in the middle of the day, I think, and I missed it because I was sleeping at a weird time because my schedule's messed up because of their usual time, so I'm late on this one. Just give me a break, okay? I tried. So many of you probably already know about this, but this is exciting here. We are all getting 10 free daily summons. Because they screwed up on the JP server, I believe. You can see the dates here on Global on the 22nd, Saturday until Sunday. So you have a full 24 hours to get your 10 summons in. Maybe get a couple Alexas, you know, maybe get that Jenna you've always been wanting. And then we've got, yeah, that's it. That's it for here. Just 10 free summons. You can't argue with that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. This is great. I like it. On to the next one here. And this one I haven't read yet. I scrolled down to see how far it was, but this is the questions preview for the Let's Talk. And I really hope they hit some hard-hitting questions here. So this is Let's Be Epic Together as we celebrate the 2nd anniversary of E7. The Let's Talk section of this event will address questions from our heirs that were collected from in an 8-day period. We received a wide variety of questions from our heirs. We would like to express our deepest gratitudes to all of the heirs who sent in their questions. Here are the questions that have been selected from the ones that our heirs sent in. These questions will be addressed. Okay, so before we get into this, there's a bunch of stuff I would ask personally. So let me try to make this a little bit bigger for y'all here. Yeah, that's good enough here. So what I would ask personally is obviously a question about Molagora, if they're okay with Molagoras being where they are right now. I would also ask a question about stamina, to see whether stamina is in a place they would like it to be. Because I feel like these are two major things that have just been wrong for a while. Wrong in our eyes, or my eyes and other people's eyes. That they haven't budged too much on. So I just want an official answer whether or not this is what they want and they're not really looking at changing. There's another thing to do with story I would like to hear. Like, I would like to hear if there's going to be more of a focus on voices in story. Does that make sense? As somebody who has a hard time just reading a bunch of text with these wonderful VAs, I would like to see voiced story a little more. I think it would be a huge boon to the game itself for storytelling. It would be just ridiculously great. What else would I like to hear about? Honestly, those are the main things. There's obviously a ton you could think about, but I'm just gonna read and see what people ask. So, hero balance. Yeah, that's another thing, is if they are just never nerfing again, you know? So the questions that are being answered, these are the ones that are being answered, right? So what criteria are used when determining if a hero will be balanced? That's a pretty good question, like, because there's a lot of things you can judge on whether or not something should be balanced or not. Like, for example, something like, let's bring Blizzard into this. Blizzard has a very, at least when I played, has a very numbers approach where it was X people are doing this, so everybody must like it. You know, like the X% of people are participating, so this must be fun, was kind of their thing here, right? Whereas that's not always the right way to, like, the numbers aren't always the right way to do it. Like, how people are feeling about things is often the right way to do it. So that's kind of interesting here. Will they release balance related data? Mango, it's 7 words. Will the balance related data be made public? Yeah, that's pretty cool too. I would like to see stuff like, they're already doing this with Hall of Trials, so we know they have the ability, obviously, but I would like to see a little bit more, like Who are the most common arena offense units? Who has the best Guild War defense win rate? Stuff like that. Will the waiting period between balance adjustments be reduced? So I personally think balances should be once a month, approximately. I also think they should be a little more major than they are now. I would like to see like one major overhaul a month. I know that's asking a lot, and it can screw a lot of things up, but because you're doing patches every month, the most it'll be screwed up is a month, right? So that's kind of what I think. So are there any plans for Strays, Archdemon, Mercedes, Nilgal, Garo, and other NPCs to be released as playable heroes? I mean, this is a weird question. Like, this is a gimme question, right? Like, of course there's plans. Are there any plans for your company to want to make money? You know, like that's kind of what it's asking. I feel like adding in Nilgal and Garo is a good touch here because like Strays and Archdemon and Mercedes are a little more obvious, but how about lesser NPC heroes like Nonori or like there's like 7,000 NPCs and I just blanked on every single name. A girl with all the arms, Nonori, you know what I'm talking about. The lesser known ones that people all want. At least I want. Afi is the one I was thinking of. Are there any other plans to release other types of heroes, such as Suin, mechanical heroes, monsters, or heroes that are combined with other types, such as Yufian or Half Dragon? That's a pretty good idea here. But I believe this is another gimme, but I guess this makes sense, right? Like, of course they're planning on releasing stuff like this. Why have there not been more balance adjustments for 4-star heroes? Really good question, but is that true? Is this true? Because I feel like every time we do patches, there's like quite a few 4-star balance adjustments. What is the timeline for a specialty change? Interesting questions. Are there any plans to release new 3-star heroes? If so, when? Why, yes, there is. During episode 3, you will be introduced to we should definitely see a bunch of 3-star heroes in episode 3. I also feel like there should be 4-star heroes mixed in as well. Are there any plans to improve packs containing mystic metals? Interesting. How is the value on these now? I personally have not bought any since Araminta, I think. So, are there any plans to increase the availability of mystic metals? Do y'all think we're getting enough mystic metals? I feel like we're getting enough. Obviously, I would like more, but I feel like I'm getting enough as I'm basically free to play right now, by the way. I feel like I'm getting enough participating in Guild Wars. I would obviously love more ways, though. Are there any plans to implement a guaranteed summoning system for mystic summons for 4-star Moonlight heroes? Interesting question again. That is kind of something to think about, right? Because it's hard to get those 4 stars if you really want them. Can the hero cycle rotation for the coin shot be changed? Okay, what else do we hear? Is there a possibility of introducing a guaranteed summoning system for artifacts? Really good question here too. One thing I suggested was to add in artifacts to the dupe system. So specifically add in limited artifacts to the unit dupe system that we're getting for the shop, like where you can buy the 5-star and stuff like that, and have it at a reasonable price. I think this is something that could help a lot of stress related issues for people like me who miss something like Cerise's artifact, put it behind something that is not easy to do, but it's still an obtainable goal. Are there any plans to implement a mass summoning system? I really hope not. I really like the way the system is here. I think I would like it a little bit more with a little more RNG. After they introduced Pity, a lot of stuff now is just like, it's how many times do I have to hit this button until I get exactly what I need without any like excitement, you know? I would love to see some more excitement brought into the mix, whether it's through animation somehow or a bit more randomness or what can be summoned. Like, for example, summoning for Yufian, right? Like, you know, if it's a hero, it's Yufian. There's no, like, there's obviously excitement to get her, but there's no like, what's it gonna be that there usually is with gacha games. And I think that's something they need to work on. I'm not sure how to handle it with the pity system in place, though. Any plans to increase? Yes, please. I can't tell you how many times I've opened up the game, tried to play, and it was like, your hero inventory is full, and I'm like, you son of a... And then I frustratingly, begrudgingly, like, hit back a bunch of times, get back to the main area, get some free space open, hit a scenario, get sent to somewhere I wasn't, and then go back a bunch of times, go back forward a bunch of times, finally get to where I was, hit play, and then it's like, your equipment is full, and then I just close the game. So this is a major problem. Like, this is, I would say, one of their biggest problems. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I feel like this is something that causes people to just close the game, especially like newer players or people frustrated with the inventory system. Like, it's not something you want to manage all the time, right? So I definitely see this being something they should really implement. Mass promotion would be nice too. I'm not sure how they would implement it though. Equipment farming. How much progress has been made in regards to the equipment farming improvements that were mentioned at the first anniversary? Good question. Are there any plans to improve equipment farming? Good question as well. So I'm somewhat of the opinion that equipment farming is somewhat fine. It's not good. The rate at which you get equipment is somewhat okay, but the amount you're able to hit that lottery slot is not okay. So like, the stamina portion of it is not okay, and that's what makes the drop rate less okay. It's also what makes gold more of a problem. Are there any plans to increase Mulagora availability? Yeah, more than 100, as expected. Gold and energy. Are there any plans to improve the ability to gain gold and energy? Good call here. This is a tough one because they say to gain gold and energy. It's really important to note right now, it doesn't really matter how fast we gain energy, because energy sinks are so intense that it just drains you so fast, right? Like 30 stamina, 22 stamina a stage. It doesn't matter if you quadruple the speed your stamina refreshes, you're just done. Like, you're out right away with how much energy and how much stamina stuff takes. So that's something to consider as well. We're not just looking for a like quick fix for that. Will the cost to remove equipments and artifacts be adjusted? I mean, I've gone a bit lax on this. At the start of the game, I was really under the impression that I was okay with the equipment cost to do this. But now with all the units I have, I'm kind of leaning towards lowering it a lot, which is something I never thought I'd find myself saying, because I was always like passionate about having certain gear on certain things. But I am just like kind of frustrated with equipment right now, so I would just like to move things around as much as I can. And I've experienced it in other games that I miss it, you know, like other games let you do it and I just miss it at this point. So obviously artifacts, yes, that's something that 100% should be. It's really frustrating with artifacts. Are there any plans to improve the expedition? Probably. I mean, they're already rolling them out. Are there any plans to improve friendship levels? This is something I was kind of yelled at in my Mulagora friendship video because I didn't think the implementation was right. I think they should have had a better way to do stuff like this and make the milestones a little more important. A game that does it somewhat well is Seven Deadly Sins. They have like a bar you see with your friendship and you get rewards as you go. That's kind of the thing I was hoping for. Obviously you do get the rewards through the facial expressions and stuff, but there's no hit of adrenaline or hit of satisfaction, whatever that thing is called, where you get something, right? Like, it just happens in the background. So I think that should be changed. Any plans to add guild reputations, dagger, Sakara, guardian enhancements? I hope so. Are there any plans to release an anime webtoon or something similar to increase Epic 7's brand? Very interesting. I'm really impressed that they took this question, because I feel like this means yes. They're not gonna be like, here's one of the questions you want to know. No, there's not, you know? Like, I feel like this is something that they plan to announce for this event. That's really exciting. Are there any plans to sell Luna or other heroes as a figurine? So the thing with Luna that I talked about when it was released is, I forget who produced Luna, but the people who manufactured Luna and designed Luna are a relatively small batch company. So they're somebody who's not really able to sell to the masses. I'm a huge anime figure collector, and there's people like Alter, like Kotobuyuka. There's people like Fat Company, even like so many, like Good Smile Company. There's all those figure people that can produce as many as you need, right? And then there's a bunch of smaller people that often produce stuff called garage kits, which you have to paint yourself. And that's kind of what this company is, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so it makes it very difficult to sell Luna figures en masse. So I was really surprised when I saw who they had do this. I think it was more of like a pet project for them. But I think now with the amount of interest people are seeing with this, they'll find a way to get another kind of mass producing but still high quality figure company to design something for them. Are there any plans for a collaboration with the new IP? I sure hope so. What are the future plans for Epic 7? Just a broad question there. What is the current operation process and how will it change in the future? Cool idea, cool idea. Okay, so these are a lot of questions. I wasn't sure what I was going for when I was reading this, but I hope I gave some insight on this. I think this is going to be a really interesting segment, and I can't wait to hear what they say. This is going to be a really, really, really great video to like go back onto and see how they handle this. So we are going to stop here. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.